As always, it's good to be with you. We'll let our time together be started with our morning workbook lesson. We're on to a new month and still right in the heart of our review session here. Our lesson today begins with the same theme. I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. See if you can let yourself hear this as though it's the first time. I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. All things are lessons God would have me learn. A lesson is a miracle which God offers to me in place of thoughts I made that hurt me. What I learn of Him becomes the way I am set free. And so I choose to learn His lessons and forget my own. I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. And then letting yourself go inward. As we come back from the meditation, we just stay open to the message of the lesson. We choose to learn God's lessons and forget our own. As Jesus says here, God's lessons are the miracles, the shifts out of the old way of thinking. This whole weekend, there's been I don't even know, a little fiesta party thing every night right below our house here. In their Spanish way, they play music until 5 or so in the morning every night. And during the meditation, I kept thinking of a line from Shakespeare. And now our revelries are ended. Because that weekend fiesta is over, but the message of that line is the story of this world is over. We are such stuff as dreams are made of. So whatever has seemed to occur in the story of your life, can remember now our revelries are over.
Yeah, it's a nice lesson. A lesson is a miracle, which God offers me in place of thoughts I made that hurt me. A lesson is a miracle. That feels so good. It feels like we can be in a state of mind that is not taking things seriously anymore. Feeling, seeing miracles instead of lessons. What I learn of him becomes the way I am set free. And so I choose to learn his lessons and forget my own. Yeah, we're called to wake up from thoughts that hurt. All the thoughts that hurt. If there are any thoughts that hurt that you want to talk about, I can open up one. Jonas?
Good morning. So I have the belief that in order for my mind to be receptive to Holy Spirit, I need to move. And I also, so for example, in the morning when I wake up, if I just pick up the course, my brain and my mind doesn't really feel Jesus's words. So it's like, I need to, I believe that it's better to take a walk. And then the perfect thing is to take a walk and then have a coffee, because I really believe that the coffee sharpens my mind so that I can feel Holy Spirit maximum, because my brain is so like poof. And at the same time, I also have the belief that my throat has this kind of tension, which feels like a tennis ball sometimes, and I'm afraid it's cancer. And I believe that it's creating stress in my body, and that quitting my morning coffee and having a mushroom product that a friend gave to me, like not a psychedelic mushroom, but I believe that it would be more healthy and feels more calming. At the same time, I have been, I've tried to be healthy in many areas of my life, but this morning coffee just feels like the biggest joy, to sit down having the morning coffee and reading the lesson. And I can feel that in the morning. This morning when I was walking the dog with Vanessa, 7 o'clock, being proud of being such an early bird. And then I could just feel that, my mind was going, should I have a coffee? Should I not have a coffee? Is it dangerous for your system? And yeah, I ended up having a coffee, and it felt good so far, but yeah, I'm shit scared of coffee and of stress and of cancer. So just wanted to hand over these thoughts. I can feel some sadness underneath it.
Maybe you're undoing all the rules, and the sadness comes from all the confusion around what is right. It sounded when you shared it like following your joy is the right thing always, following your joy, which is guidance, you can even give it to spirit to say, well, you show me, give me a clear sign if it's time to quit coffee, give me a clear sign if I shouldn't move in the morning, but it feels like you're doing it for the purpose of a clear mind and reading the lesson. That sounds like a mighty purpose. Yeah, sounds like the walk and the coffee is being used in a truly helpful way.
Yeah. But I had 2 weeks without the coffee, and it didn't feel like sacrifice, and I was getting so relaxed that when I met people, I didn't feel the nervous system attacking me anymore, or I didn't perceive that kind of sense of
yeah.
being.
But you assign it to coffee or no coffee, and that's the ridiculous part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to be open.
Yeah, the ego just wants to make a rule. This is the right track. This is the right way. This is the right thing. Walk and coffee or reishi mushroom or whatever, like as if it's one or the other that will give you peace and that will, do the right thing to your mind. But neither, it's not about the right form. It's about the right thinking. Giving over the form and trusting, and the best is to not have a rule, because you will be disappointed. A rule is an idol, and you will be disappointed when it's not working. There's so much fear in the mind, and the fear is projected onto the form, and when it's not working, then the mind is confused. But yeah, it's more helpful to say, oh, what is it I'm fearing? What is this deep terror in the mind that is projecting this about the form. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
And even around the cancer fear thoughts, what is that about but the body? And what is the body but a collection of cells? A big clump of cells. Are you a clump of cells? No. Change our lesson. I am not a clump of cells. I am free. I'm not harmed if some of the cells in my clump do something different. Like, what does it have to do with me?
Yeah. I had the thoughts today that if I die 6 months from now, then you would all miss me. Then you would think about me. It's funny that there is these thoughts like that seem very real, and I feel like I have partly accepted, except okay, if I die, it's all right, but it just seems so real, the death. Thank you.
You're not gonna die.
I'm not gonna die.
No, you're not gonna die.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I want to trust that. What? Okay.
Listen to the silence in your mind. So all things are lessons God would have me learn. So that's the lesson for today, to learn God's lessons, to accept the miracles, replace the thoughts that hurt with opening to miracles. Choose to learn God's lessons and forget my own. I am not a body, I am free, or I am still as God created me.